If you guys only knew the fucking extent that I went to for this podcast episode, okay? The commitment, I dabbled in an Android, the phone, okay? I have wanted to tell this story, but before I even had a podcast, I was like, one day I'm going to tell that story. I'm going to tell it in an anonymous, appropriate, professional way, but I am fucking telling that story. Now listen, guys, I have screenshots. I have receipts. I have absurd shit. I'm not going to air that, right? Like that's not our shtick here. I'm not doing a podcast so I can just like air everybody's dirty laundry. Listen, at the end of the day, we've all fucked up. We've all sent each other some like ruthless text messages. I'm not holier than thou to get up here and be like, here is every time everybody was a dick to me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to virtue signal like that. But that being said, I do like some good tea. And I also like to tell stories that I feel like are universal in some way, that people can relate to, that they can listen to and say, oh man, I went through something similar. That helps me. And I'll tell you why. I am a closed book, surprisingly, when it comes to a lot of people in my life. I have suffered in silence many a times. Okay. I'm working on it. I'm holding myself accountable. But I've gone through things and I keep it to myself and I bury myself in work. And even my closest friends and family don't even know when I'm going through some shit. So sometimes I think about me and I'm like, it would have been nice if stories were being told that I could listen to on my own and at least feel like, okay, people have gone through this before. Guys, I'm trying to fucking justify this. I really just want to tell this goddamn story. Okay, listen, I want to tell this fucking story because it's universal. I think, especially for a lot of women, making new friends, moving to a new city, especially Los Angeles or any type of hyped up city. I would assume maybe like New York, although I've never moved there. Any place where it's intimidating. There's a lot of good looking people. Maybe there's an entertainment industry. It's overpopulated. There's a lot of hype. This story pertains to. This screenshot that I wanted is from August of 2015, just shy of 3 months after I graduate college and moved to LA. I wanted this screenshot so fucking bad because although I remember this text message because it is quite literally burned into my frontal lobe, I was like, no one's going to believe me. Like when I've told this story to a few of my friends and they're like, I'm like, no guys, I swear to God, that is what they said. So I spent an entire day going through hard drives. I bought adapters. I was going through old phones. I was doing some weird Apple hacks. Okay. I couldn't find it. I could find photos from this night. I could find other text messages from this night, but I could not find this fucking text. So I called my mother. She is the Android user. Actually, she is their biggest supporter. She loves spreading Android propaganda. All the people at the Geek Bar say it's the best phone. Okay, Carmela, whatever. So I call her and I'm like, listen, my mother lived with me at the time in Los Angeles that this whole shit went down. In fact, she read the text message with me, but I thought maybe I had sent it to her. And the thing about Carmela is if you sneezed in 1986, she has fucking record of it. So I call her up. I'm like, I need a text message. She knew a text message from August of 2015. Please find it. She goes, okay, well, at that time I had either the S6 or the S7. I go, I don't know what that fucking means, bitch. I'll order you a charger. So I overnight her some chargers. She's like crouched, on the floor with these broken phones, going through her phone. She's like, I cannot find this fucking text. She's like, I find everything else, but I can't find this text. I'm like, God damn it. My running joke to myself is that the girls that this story is about, I always joke that they blackballed me from Hollywood many moons ago. And now I'm like, no, they probably hacked my fucking iCloud and deleted this goddamn text message. Not that I would have I would have just read a couple lines in it because I think it's important and I genuinely don't think that you would believe me. Nevertheless, I'm telling the story because it's pretty fucking absurd. So, those group of girls that just feel older than you and they're not, they just feel cool. There's something about them that is so effortlessly cool and mature and you feel like smaller than them when you're around them in a way that you're just like wowed when you're around them. You know what it is, right? Like they're younger than you, but they feel older than you. This story is about those girls. I became friends with this sort of group of girls my last semester of college. And I just thought they were so fucking cool. Okay. And I had planned, part of the reason why I thought they were cool was they were from Los Angeles. And I was just obsessed with Los Angeles and California. If you were from Arizona, I'm like, you're awesome because you were close enough to LA. Like I've always been fascinated by Los Angeles, and maybe that's because I lived there as a kid and I witnessed all these like really cool people walking around at the ripe age of 10. I've always been fascinated by Los Angeles. So that already, you're from LA, you're already fucking cool in my eyes. Then, they have family members that work in the entertainment industry. They're very well connected. They know a lot of cool people. They're, and they came from money. So they wore like just really, really cool, like, those people that have money, but they don't wear like brand names. They wear like $800 t-shirts and you would never, like unassuming brands, like that level of cool. Okay. They were just so fucking cool to me. So they know at this time that they're younger than me and I'm on my last semester. And after I graduate, I'm getting my ass over to LA. I'm getting over to LA with no money, no job. I don't know anybody there. And I'm trying to be an actor. They know this about me. I'm going to be graduating and it's going to be summer. They're going to spend their summer back home in LA. So my first moment of going back to LA is going to be with these girls, which is just so cool to me because it's so intimidating moving to the other side of the country when you have nothing and know nobody. And this already like gave me a little bit of validation that I was doing the right thing. And it gave me hope that it wouldn't be so scary because I had these girls who I thought were genuinely wanting to help me, like meet people and, establish roots in Los Angeles, whatever fucking bullshit I was believing at that time because I was a stupid bitch. So they are adamant this whole semester on being the ones when you move out to LA, we're going to introduce you. They'd be having a conversation. Someone's name would get brought up. Oh, don't worry. We're going to introduce you to them. Their dad is a director. Their mom is a casting director. And I'm foaming at the fucking mouth. I'm feral. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking insane. Like, they are praying. They were literally love bombing me. They were like, we're going to introduce you. We're going to take you to all the cool clubs. And now, mind you, I've been in a relationship a lot of high school and then predominantly my entire college career, I was in a relationship. So this was a very awakening moment for me. Oh my God, I'm moving to LA. I'm single. I'm in my prime. I thought at the time, I was like, yeah, 22 is your prime. I was fucking wrong. Guys, I was just really on cloud nine. Okay. That whole semester that we become friends, everything is pretty kosher. I don't see any red flags pop up. Those red flags started slowly, very slowly popping up when I moved to Los Angeles. And again, what I'm trying to do here when telling this story is I have my own personal judgment today about this whole situation, what was happening this whole time, what fucking lies I was being told, how I was kind of being manipulated and taken advantage of. My insecurity was being taken advantage of. But I'm trying not to let that impact how I tell the story because at the time I didn't think much of the things that were happening. There were several girls in this group, right? But the main group, like the core of us, it was me and two other girls. One girl was definitely the kinder, little ditzy, somebody that I would maybe argue could be very easily misled, kind of just went where people were pushing her. The other one, she wore the pants in our relationship. She was pretty fucking blunt about who she was and what she thought and what she believed. And at the time, I attributed that to just having like an East Coast vibe. I typically tend to gravitate towards people with that kind of attitude because East Coast people typically are misunderstood, especially having that mentality and living in Los Angeles. You can be isolated a lot. People don't understand you. So I just thought she was blunt, not that she was a bitch. I just thought I respect that. Pop off. Tell it like it is. Love that. So two very opposing personalities. And then me somewhere in the middle, just like begging to be liked, right? Just like, please like me and, whatever, just being a pick me. We start going out pretty much. I move out there the second I graduate and we're going out every night. And I am going to some insane parties, places that I would have never had the opportunity to be at, being a essentially nobody, like birthday parties for people that were famous, restaurants that I would have never been able to get a reservation, clubs it just was wild. And again, this whole time I am fucking foaming at the mouth. my mother is living with me at the time, which was like, oh, Mom, you're so annoying. But now looking back, I really respect that she did that, because LA can chew you up and spit you out very quickly. And my mother knew this, and my mother came with me. And although she was my fucking anchor and was always like, when are you coming home? You know, she definitely steered me where I needed to go and was there for me when shit hit the fan. So I appreciate that now. At the time I didn't. I was like, fuck you, Carmela. Leave Los Angeles, please. Now looking back, I do appreciate that she did that. But that obviously limited, you know, my experience during this time. So we're going to parties, we're doing the thing, we're being crazy, having fun, good time, whatever. Slowly, little things start happening, very little things that I do flag. And I don't know if the time I really flagged it or if I was just like, all right, I think you're being in your head. Because I also am always paranoid about everything, and I'm aware of that. So sometimes when I do think something's weird, I'm like, okay, maybe you're just being paranoid because like you're insecure. One of the first things that happened that I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, is we were at one of their houses and I asked the leader of the pack. She had these beautiful leather flats on. I'll never forget. I was like, oh my God, I love your shoes. Because again, I wanted to be just like these girls. I love your shoes. Who makes them? And she said something along the lines of, I don't remember, they were very expensive. I'm like, yeah, no, I know, but like, what's the brand? And she was like, I got them in Paris. They were very expensive. She said it like several times. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't ask you how fucking much they were. I'm asking you who makes them. But I blow it off because again, I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's just doing me a solid. Maybe I can't afford them, whatever they are. And maybe she's just saving me from the embarrassment of going online and trying to buy these shoes and going like, oh, I cannot afford those. We are in different tax brackets. I blow it off. I don't think twice about it. Okay. Slowly, other things start happening. The first thing that really happens that I say, I'm a little sus. Now mind you, they're taking me to everything. There's nothing that they're going to that they're not bringing me with. And mind you, I didn't ask them for anything. I never asked them, can you introduce me to this person? I was just so happy to be there. They, again, were adamant about being the ones to make the introduction. Now I understand why. They wanted to kind of control the narrative, but they wanted to be the ones basically bringing me all around town and showing me everybody on their terms. So we go to a birthday party for one of their friends. The other thing that I noticed during this time is 99% of the people that I'm meeting are men. Again, I don't think really much of it. That's fine. Sometimes, you know, girls are catty. I don't know. Again, not thinking about it. But I'm meeting predominantly men. 95% dudes. They've all crossed paths. They all grew up together. They all know each other. I'm also slowly realizing that they've all dated one another and all hooked up with one another, which at first I was like, that's a little incestual. Like you guys like, oh, we dated in the 4th grade. Oh yeah, then we made out in the 8th grade. Oh, I kissed her boy. Like it was a lot of that going on. But it was like they would joke about it. And I also think about, I went to a school where there were like 10 straight guys and 4 straight girls. So we all overlapped, you know, we were all just fine. I get it. Not a big deal. The 2 girls also in this group, one of them, the cooler one, the older, not older, what I thought was older, just the cooler, a little bit more blunt one, she's in a relationship at the time with a dude that's older than her. I don't ask much about it. She's a little bit of a closed book. He lives in a different state. But again, of course, par for the course. Like, she's so cool. Of course, she's dating an older guy. Like, that's just, oh my God, you know? And then the other girl was dating some guys. Again, I never really asked much, nor did they openly talk about it. So we go to this guy's birthday who they went to school with when they were younger. I don't fucking remember the details. Whatever. We go to this club. At the time, it was a big club. I bring to this day is still one of my closest friends, and she is to this day the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life. Like the kind of girl that never says anything negative about anybody. Just so kind, salt of the earth human. She is one of my dearest friends, and she ends up, when my mother leaves LA, she ends up taking my mom's bedroom and we end up being roommates. So I take her with me to this birthday. So it's me and my friend, and then it's the 2 girls. So we go to this birthday, and the 2 girls introduce me to the guy whose birthday it is. He bought a table, and we're all now going to be at this table. So I introduce myself, my friend introduces herself, and we're just having a conversation. our two friends immediately, like we go, they introduce us and they're like, we're going to go to the bar and get a drink for whatever reason. Again, they were so cool. They couldn't drink the alcohol that was at the table. They had to go get a specialty cocktail. So I'm like, okay. So they go to the bar almost immediately after we get there. And me and my friend are now stuck in a conversation with this guy whose birthday it is. I mean, how's the weather? You know, like, what am I like? Thank you for having me. You have no fucking idea who I am. All I remember is we end up talking about industry stuff. His mom or dad is like a director in the industry. The girls obviously let him know that I was trying to be an actor. And we just talk about industry stuff. That's it. I'm like, thank you again so much. Like, happy birthday. I don't know. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? The two girls aren't back yet. I'm like, what'd you guys get lost? What's going on? So I'm looking around. My friend's looking around. We're like, where the fuck are they? And I look and I catch them. They have their drinks. They're both standing at the end of the bar watching me. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, weird. Just leaning up against the bar, watching this interaction. And I look at them, I'm like, what are you guys fucking doing? I don't remember if I either texted them or said to them, like, you guys coming over here? Like, it was weird. It felt very intrusive, like I was being watched. Finally, when they come over, they say something like, we didn't want to interrupt, like you guys were flirting. Something like, I'm really shady. I'm like, what flirt? You fucking left me. It's this dude's birthday. I already don't belong here. I wouldn't want somebody at my birthday that I didn't fucking know. Like, I'm literally just talking to him. What am I supposed to do? Fuck off and be rude? But they also said it in a way that, like, it was very manipulative. It was bitchy, but it was also like, oh, we thought that you guys might be together, so we left to do you a favor. And I was like, this is fucking weird. And I knew that moment, something inside me was like, okay, run, run. But I didn't run. Because I fucking hate running, to be honest with you. So that happens. Don't think much of it. Okay. My friend also is like, that was a little weird. Granted, she doesn't say shit about shit. She's like, that's a little weird. I'm like, yeah, it was a little weird. Now, during this time, these two girls start talking so much shit about one another to me. Now, I can't lie. I kind of liked it. I did kind of like it. Not because they hated each other, but I loved that they like trusted me enough to get my advice. I don't know. I felt really wanted. That's like so cringy to say. But again, I'm trying to just remember how I felt. Now I would be like, fuck off. I don't care about you. But in the moment, I really was like, oh my God, these two girls that I look up to are both turning to me for advice. That's really cool. And also at the time I was like, I like that I'm not the one that they're talking shit about. Mind you, obviously they were talking so much shit about me, but it felt nice. It felt nice to have them come to me and to me be the one that was helping them maybe mend their friendship. But the more and more that they would talk to me about each other, the more I was like, oh, these girls don't like each other. Like, it wasn't just, oh, she stole my tank top. What a fucking bitch. It was shit. It was these girls are in too deep and they do not like each other. There were also references about men, predominantly the nicer one mentioning stuff about the other one, being weird about men and like trying to get with boyfriends. Like, it was a lot of stuff about guys. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, yeah, well, no shit. You guys hang out with 98% dudes. The odds of there being drama over dudes is high. Like, you guys have all kissed the same dudes. But I kind of let it go. But at this point, I'm feeling out that like I should keep my cards a little bit close about something. Like, finally the intelligence is kicking in. We go to this club one night, Bungalow. I don't know what the vibe of Bungalow is these days, but back then, I mean, it was douchey central. But it was like, that's where you went. If you were single and you wanted to meet people, that's where you go. You bring your friends and like you find a dude wearing an overpriced hat and some skinny jeans and some necklaces and a pinky ring, and you're like, there's my husband. So we go to Bungalow, and there was more girls that we went with. So it was me and the two girls and a couple other girls that were all mutual friends. And I meet, no joke, 15 dudes that are there. Because like that was the other thing, is like people love going to Bungalow and like a huge group of guys. Like, it was just a sausage fest. So there's a bunch of dudes. Again, this is Christina, our friend. She just moved here. She's but like just really pimping me out here. Another thing is, odds are, you bring a friend around, a single friend around a bunch of single dudes, the odds that one of those single dudes will fancy that single girl is pretty fucking high. Okay, that's just fact. So they bring me, they introduce me to everybody. then we're all just standing around. It's very like just stand and be seen kind of place. So you just talk to people. Hi, just like, please listen to me speak so I don't look awkward standing here with a fucking drink. I end up in a conversation with one of the guys. They're off talking to other people. I don't know. I end up in a conversation with one of the guys, and we're just chatting. Nothing deep, just having a conversation. That was that. Maybe a week or two later, I go out with my friend and not the other two girls. We go to this other place. And I forget what had happened, but there was a guy there that inappropriately made a move on me. I don't know if he cornered me or if like slapped my ass, something weird, some normal shit that girls are just used to dealing with at clubs. That guy that I was having a conversation with happened to be there and saw this and kind of like got me out of the situation. And we ended up chatting and we exchanged numbers and whatever. I never shared this information with the girls because I didn't fucking owe them an explanation. I didn't owe them shit. This was some random guy that they introduced me to. It has nothing to do with anything. I don't need to go out of my way. At this point, I had learned I am not going to solicit any information that I don't need because I was starting to realize based on how they would talk about other people to me and just based on a couple other situations and like how they would socialize that they loved to control the narrative. And I started getting a little bit nervous at this point that, holy shit, it doesn't matter how many people I know that are connected in Hollywood. It doesn't matter if the person that's connecting me to them is a shitty person or if the person that's connecting me to everyone is sabotaging me on the side. None of that matters. And I'm starting to realize that they like that they're controlling what all of these relationships are going to look like. Because I could have met all these people on my own. LA is a small town, especially the entertainment industry. I could have maybe met a lot of these people on my own. They wanted to be the ones to make the connection. And I start having conversations with like my mom and my friend, and I'm starting to get the vibe that I need to keep any additional information to myself. I just didn't trust it. So I never told them. And quite frankly, I didn't owe them fucking shit. What I'm going to call you and be like, oh yeah, that guy that you introduced me at Bungalow, yeah, he wants to take me on a date. Like I don't fucking owe you guys anything. Okay. You guys don't tell me shit about anything. I don't owe you anything. So I don't tell them. I go about my life and go back out with them, go out with my other friends. I don't know, just do what I'm doing. The night that God, this fucking night is like quite literally burned into my fucking brain. This night almost made me leave Los Angeles. And I'm sure if you've moved to Los Angeles, you have had one of those nights where LA quite literally will chew you up and spit you out. And you sit there alone on your floor of your apartment that you can't afford, wondering what I will not fit into this world, right? Like this is a dog eat dog world and I don't want to eat any dogs, you know? Like that was the moment for me. So we're going out to a really big club in Los Angeles and it's me and my friend and 3 of the girls, 2 of the girls that are in our group, 1 additional friend. And my mother again is living with me at the time. So she's home when I leave to go to this club. Now, looking back, these women planned this whole night so that they could publicly humiliate me and dump me as a friend. It's fucking ridiculous. We go to one of their places to pregame and one of their very fucking nice places. And we're all in their like living room area. And one of them says to me, Christina, you have the best music. Can you plug into the aux? Now, if you don't know what an aux is, back before we had Bluetooth, we had an aux. And an aux is what you plugged into your phone that would plug into a speaker that would play your music. The difference between an aux and a Bluetooth is Bluetooth, you can have your phone in your possession and play music. When you're plugged into an aux, your phone is at mercy to however long the cord is, right? You don't get to hold on to your phone while you're playing music. It is out of your hands. They also knew, my God, you want to make me horny? Ask me to play music. It's like, that was gaslighting right there. You have the best music. Will you plug into the aux? Oh my God, you like my music? Like a fucking dweeb, right? Of course, yeah. Oh my God, here, take my phone. So I plugged my phone into the aux, which was across the room. And I'm back on the couch. They're making me and my friend drinks. We're having a great time. The other way to get a girl excited is to offer to take photos of her, right? That hasn't changed. So a couple minutes after I plug in my phone, oh my God, you and my friend should go outside. We'll take photos of you guys. It's so cute back there with the fence. I'll never forget. I know exactly what it looks like. Well, you should go out there. We'll take photos of you. Okay, let me grab my phone. No, it's fine. We'll use our phone. We'll send you the photos. Okay, anything of it. Sure. All right, let's go. Me and my friend go outside. I remember this moment. It was dark out. There was like a patio. I'm leaning up against the back of the fence. You can see we're in the hills. Like, just the view is insane. They're taking photos of us and they're hyping us up. Oh my God, yeah, hold that pose. Okay, yeah, that looks so cute. Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Just doing the fucking most. And I didn't know this at the time, but they were going through my phone. They purposely set up this whole thing to get me to plug my phone into the aux, to go outside so that they could go into my fucking phone. I was so naive that the idea that these girls were going through my phone didn't even, because I would never fucking do that. So it wasn't even a thought in my mind that these girls were going through my phone. We all get in an Uber. It might have been a taxi. I don't even know. We all get in the car. I'm in the back. We're all in the back seat. I think my friend is in the front seat and then the rest of us are in the back seat. I'm by the window. I still fucking remember this. And they're all texting, all simultaneously texting. And this thought kicks into my head of like, do you think they're all texting each other? Well, what would they be texting each other about? Me? No. That's ridiculous. There's no way. What would they be saying? I looked hot in those photos, but I'm paranoid. It was a mix of being paranoid, but also my gut. Just something felt weird. The mood shifted in the car, like real quick. I'm like, this is so weird. Everybody's being kind of cold. I started getting that weird feeling in my stomach where I just felt like icky and weird. And I was like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I was used to feeling this just being in LA. I would feel this all the time. We get to the club. Everything's fine. The photos I found on my iCloud are of us at the club from that night. We're at a table with a fucking crackhead promoter, which that's just LA going to clubs at 22 years old, right? Just like some out of whack promoter, bringing you to a table. We're all having a great time. We're dancing. I have to go to the bathroom. So I say, I have to go to the bathroom. Does anybody have to go? And they kind of volunteer my friend. Oh, she'll go with you. Okay. We go to the bathroom. We, take a pee, fix my lips, probably take a selfie, come back out of the bathroom. The table is gone, empty. Everyone's gone. No one's at the table. Wasn't weird yet, because typically when you go with a promoter, they move you. Oh, somebody bought up this table. We're going to move you to another table. Or like maybe they're at the DJ booth. So I don't really think anything of it. I go to it. It's fucking crickets at this table. Now, mind you, our table was full. Like, they invited other friends while we were there. It was empty. So I text them, hey, where'd you guys go? And this is the text message that I wanted to read to you guys. Essentially, the message was, you're a piece of shit. How fucking dare you mess with our guys? How dare you talk to our guys? So on and so on and so on. And one of the last lines of this text message was, don't you fucking forget, this is our city. Dude, literally fall on a fucking fork. I say that now. At the time, I was spiraling. What? Like, then things start clicking. Who are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about that guy that got my number and asked me out, they went to school with when they were kids. What? Like, no, was there something else? I'm so confused. And then I think I'm spiraling. My friend's with me. She's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh my God, this whole night was planned. Either that guy had mentioned to them like, oh yeah, I asked your friend, got your friend's number or something, or they speculated. I don't know. But they planned this whole night to get my phone, to go through my phone, to leave me in a nightclub in Los Angeles at 3 a.m. So I feel so violated that they went through my phone. I feel so disheartened that these girls that I really thought were my friends and like looking out for me could turn on me like that. I also had this realization that this whole thing has been a fucking lie. You guys didn't want to introduce me to people. You were afraid I would move to LA and I don't be successful. I don't know what you were afraid of. I have no idea. But you wanted to make sure that you guys were facilitating every single introduction, every single friendship. You wanted to set that narrative. All of this starts playing through my head. And I just start bawling in the middle of the nightclub. Like, It was the most humiliating, violating. And again, immediately I was like, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I can't do this. I now get the LA hate. This is not how I play games. If this is what it's like to be here and do this, I don't want it. I don't want to do it, you know? And like up until then, I struggled so much with girlfriends just because, again, guys, like I just have had a niche life. I was a child actor. I had to go from that to like being a normal kid. I just had a hard time with making friends. And I was always a little too obnoxious and theatrical and weird for people. Everybody was like, you're so annoying. So I always shut that off in order to like maintain friendships. And realistically, this friendship wouldn't have lasted anyway. Because again, I was playing a character I thought that they wanted. And I was going to hit a point where I couldn't sustain that anymore. Secondly, looking back, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, that was just not my crew anyway, you know? But I didn't know that at the time. And I got home. My mom was awake. My mom, it's so funny. My mom was like, you know, when I was going through to find these text messages, all I could find was every fucking night me texting you at 2 a.m. saying, when are you coming home? And you saying, in a little bit, because I was going out every fucking night of the week with these girls. My poor mother was staying up, like, you know, with her eyes closing, like, when are you coming home? You know? And that was the moment that I was like, I don't think I can do this. Oh, and another thing I didn't even mention, another shitty thing that they did, that this one really fucking pissed me off. I went to a music festival and they put a bag of fucking shrooms in my bag. Now, mind you, I was like very much on the straight and narrow. I didn't fuck with anything. I don't fuck with anything to this day. I don't do anything. We were in the pool. I guess I was the only one that had a bag. So they decided to put a freezer Ziploc of shrooms in my backpack. And they either realized it right after we went through security when they like didn't check that part of the pocket, or they realized it right before and they're like, oh my God, we forgot. We put this in your bag. And I was fucking pissed. I was so fucking mad. I didn't really verbalize how mad I was because, again, I'm trying to be cool, and like a cool girl would never be mad about having a bag of shrooms in her backpack. But I was fucking livid because I was like, if I got in trouble for that for you fuckers, I would have been pissed. Okay. There were other things that were happening too that I was like, I don't trust them. And I'm happy whatever. Then I ended up, I'm not proud of this, but then the original guy whose birthday it was, he had asked me on a date and I ignored him the first time around, and I fucking went on a spite date with him after all of this, which I'm not proud of. But again, I was like, fuck you guys. I'm going on a date with this guy that like isn't even a spite date because like neither of you date him. It's just, I'm going to just take my power back. And then I like kind of told him what happened and they were like, oh yeah, they're known to be crazy, which doesn't mean anything because he just probably wanted to sleep with me. But in the moment I was like, yeah, you're right. Just like bawling my eyes out. And I guess I say all of this for many reasons. For one, I was really scared to tell this story because for a very long time when I was solely pursuing Hollywood, I did not want to make a ripple in the water about anything. I never wanted to say anything having to do with anything because you work so hard to make just a tiny bit of progress and to get a little bit of momentum. And I was petrified that if I ever spoke ill about anybody that even had any sort of tie to the industry, like I was done. Guess what? I didn't say anything for 10 years and I still didn't work. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, this is what happens. And this is what happens. And I'm sure, let's just say LA in general. If you are moving to Los Angeles, I'm not going to talk about any other place because I can't speak on that. But I will say this. If you are moving to Los Angeles, or if you're just moving somewhere new out of college, I'll make it vague for you. And you go and you have a bad experience and you say, I can't, this place fucking sucks. Because I did. That jaded me up, baby. Okay. I didn't trust anybody. I didn't trust anything. I was like, I fucking hate this place. Now I understand why everybody is superficial and why everybody says this place sucks. Here's the thing. There are good and bad people everywhere. The issue with a place like Los Angeles is we have a huge entertainment. It is the hub, not really anymore, but it's the hub of the entertainment industry. So you have a lot of people that are trying to get something from you. There are a lot of games. There are a lot of people trying to get ahead. And those aren't always people from LA, by the way. These are people from all over that are trying to get ahead and kind of like manipulate the system. And you will get fucked over. You will get fucked over. But that shouldn't deter you from living there. It shouldn't deter you from doing the thing that you want to do. It just makes you smarter. And I always say to my single friends, you never know what you want. You're never going to know what you want. But if you do the right things, you can start figuring out what you don't want. And that's just as important. So these experiences where a new city, a new job, trying to make friends chews you up and spits you out and you're left with nothing and you're like, that's my sign not to do it. It might not be your sign that you're not supposed to do it. It might just be your sign that you need to be a little bit more picky about who you're surrounding yourself with or the things that you're doing or pursuing. It might just be a reality check. That was my hard reality check. Hey, you're not being yourself. You're acting in a way that's uncharacteristic, which is making you hang out with people that are not meant to be around you. You're ignoring red flags because you're desperate for a job and you're desperate for friends and you're desperate for validation. Wake the fuck up. That's what that moment was for me. At the time, I didn't know that. I thought it was the universe saying, you need to go back home and quit acting and just accept the fact that you're a loser. That wasn't it. So when those situations happen, have your moment. Feel like shit. Break down. Like blame everybody. Blame everybody. Be jaded. Say this place sucks. Whatever. Then when you're done with your little meltdown, get up and try to realize that you just, okay, I got through that. Let me not do that again. So then now I have a great group of friends in Los Angeles. It is the smallest group of friends you've ever seen in your entire life. And I love it that way because I also used to think that having a lot of friends, because I always struggled, having a lot of friends means you're doing good. It doesn't. It's a pain in the ass to maintain a fuck ton of friendships, by the way. If you can do that, that's great. I can't. I'm exhausted. But I have a great group of friends. Some are from LA, some are not from LA. And when I started dating friends, because you date friends when you move to a new place, especially when you move out of college to a place with nobody, you start dating friends. You like go to nightclubs and you meet people that way. And then you go to a workout class and you meet people that way. And then you meet people at your new job or your internship. Like that's how you start dating friends. And I was dating multiple groups of friends. And when I went through this, I figured out really quickly what I don't want. I never really knew what I wanted, but I said, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to be around people that make me feel like that. Okay, add that to the back of my brain. So anytime I would interact with somebody that would even give me a small inkling that was the energy they were going to give, bye, sayonara. Okay. So again, the story, I hope, is something that you're like, I know you went through something like that. Maybe not as fucking dramatic, because that was like, I mean, come on. It was like a fucking Broadway musical. You bringing me out here to say this is our fucking city. And now I'm like, yeah. I think a lot about that, where I'm like, damn, you wanted to fucking control my narrative and I let you. But guess what? I still got to where I wanted to get to. I didn't need any of those people. I didn't need any of those relationships. I didn't need any of that. I did it without any of that. And you can too. Really, you can. So if you're graduating college especially, or if you're deciding to move somewhere new, it's fucking scary. It's very, very, very scary. I know that people don't talk about that enough. It's very, very scary to move somewhere new and not have anybody. Be open to the fact that you might get fucked over. Be open to the fact that you might be misled, and be open to the fact that you might be lied to. And if you just accept that and know, hey, if it happens, I'm not going to let it happen again, you're good. Just don't let the same mistake keep happening. Anyway, I love you guys. Life's a fucking joke. Friendships can be a fucking joke. LA can be a fucking joke. And I will leave you with this. I say this quote all the time. I don't even know. I just said it on a goddamn podcast. I don't even know who. You would think I say this so often that I would research, like, hey, who said this? There's a quote that says, live in LA long enough that it doesn't soften you, and live on the East Coast long enough that it doesn't harden you. And I think that's just a good testament of life, right? When you go through experiences, they're going to make you more wise, but don't let them make you jaded. Take that information with you and still try to find the good. Don't let that stuff that happens to you ruin who you are or dim your light. still do what you're doing and just use all of that experience as intel and put it in your toolbox and hammer away at shit. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. I will see you on Thursday. And yeah, love you. ASMR.